Hello, my name is Dr. Sam Hai. I am an internal medicine doctor. Thank you so much for watching and welcome to Raw Talk. This is episode number 32. Raw Talk is where I go off the top of my head. It's unfiltered and unedited. I give you my thoughts and opinions on health. In this episode, I will be talking about intermittent fasting on carnivore. I'll be talking about hormones, how it relates to women, and what you need to know. You've gone carnivore. You've already ditched plants, eating nose to tail, and now you're hearing that intermittent fasting is the next step. But what does it really do to your hormones? Is it safe for women? Can it wreck your thyroid? Or is it the metabolic unlock you've been missing? Today, we're looking into how fasting on carnivore affects your entire hormonal system, from insulin and cortisol to thyroid and sex hormones, especially for women. First of all, what is intermittent fasting on carnivore? Intermittent fasting isn't just skipping breakfast. It's about compressing your eating windows, giving your body time to rest, repair, and burn fat. What are the most common fasting protocols? 16-8. Fast for 16 hours, eat in 8 hours. 18-6, 24. OMAD, which stands for 1 meal a day. Some carnivores do alternate day fasting or extended 48 plus hour fast. But on carnivore, fasting often happens naturally. Once your insulin drops and you're fat adapted, you're just not hungry. Fasting isn't a diet. It's a hormonal reset. And when paired with carnivore, it becomes powerful medicine. How does fasting plus carnivore affect hormones? Let's break down the major ones. Insulin. Fasting drops insulin fast. On carnivore, you're already not spiking insulin because you're not eating carbs. You add fasting to it, you're going to lower fasting insulin levels. You're going to improve insulin sensitivity. You're going to burn fat stores. Low insulin leads to weight loss, leads to mental clarity and metabolic healing. How about cortisol? Fasting raises cortisol. It's a natural stress response. Your body mobilizes energy during fasts. That's not bad unless it's chronic. On carnivore, where carbs are absent, your cortisol load is already up slightly, especially early on. Fasting adds to this. If you're under-recovered, underslept, meaning you're sleep deprived, or you're under-eating, chronic cortisol leads to burnout. Let's talk about HGH, human growth hormone. Fasting boosts HGH by about 5 times. Why does that matter? Promotes fat loss, builds lean muscle, preserves tissue, enhances repair. And paired with carnivore, this is ideal for healing, for recomposition. Let's talk about leptin and ghrelin. These are the hunger hormones. When you add fasting with carnivore, this normalizes hunger cues. Ghrelin spikes before meals, but flattens as you adapt. Leptin becomes more accurate, helping you feel full and satisfied. This is why many carnivores naturally eat once or twice a day. Not because they're forcing it, but because they're no longer driven by cravings. What about thyroid hormones, T3, T4? Now, here's the controversial one. Fasting, especially long term or with extreme calorie restriction, can reduce T3. That's the active thyroid hormone. Some interpret this as thyroid damage. But hold on. On carnivore plus fasting, lower T3 might not mean dysfunction. It might mean that your body is simply more efficient. You're not burning carbs, so you don't need high T3. But if you're cold, tired, losing hair, or gaining weight, that's a red flag. It's not the fasting or meat. It's probably that you're not eating enough fat or you're fasting too aggressively. Why fasting hits women differently? Let's talk about women. The female body is built for reproduction and survival. It's more sensitive to energy availability than men's bodies. What does that mean? Too much fasting leads to hormonal chaos. When women fast too hard or too often, especially paired with low fat or too much stress, they can have symptoms. They can experience irregular or missing periods, infertility, hair loss, anxiety, depression, insomnia, weight gain. Yes, weight gain from stress hormones. What about the menstrual cycle and fasting? Here's the trick. Fasting tolerances changes throughout the month. So for day 1 to 14 of the cycle, estrogen rises. Cortisol is lower. This is the best time to fast longer for women. From day 15 to 28 of the cycle, progesterone dominates. Cortisol sensitivity increases. So here, fasting should be gentler or skipped. Here are the guidelines for women on carnivore and fasting. Just some general guidelines. Don't fast in the first 30 to 60 days. Okay? Let your body fully adapt to carnivore first. Eat enough fat. Carnivore is not high protein, it's high fat. And fat drives hormonal balance. Use gentle fasting windows. 12-12 or 14-10 is plenty for most women. And don't force OMAD. It may work temporarily, but chronic OMAD can tank hormones long term for women. Listen to your body. Hunger, fatigue, and anxiety are data, not weakness. Is fasting even necessary on carnivore? The short answer is no. Carnivore already lowers insulin. It boosts fat oxidation, reduces cravings, supports autophagy. You're already mimicking a fasted state just by eating meat. But for specific goals, metabolic syndrome, obesity, food addiction, insulin resistance, fasting can be an accelerant. Who benefits the most from intermittent fasting on carnivore? Former carb addicts, people with PCOS, diabetics, or pre-diabetics, those with binge eating history, stalled weight loss. But again, food quality comes first. If you fast, but break your fast with lean meat, no fat, or low calories, your hormones will crash. When does fasting become a problem? Here are common signs that you're overdoing it. You have cold hands and feet, mood swings, brain fog, sleep issues, hair shedding, missing your period. Don't just look at weight. Look at your energy, your libido, your mental clarity. Those are the real markers of metabolic health. Let's walk through a few practical fasting schedules for both men and women. So for a beginner, weeks 1 to 4, focus on eating 3 meat-based meals a day. No snacks, no tracking, no forcing. Prioritize fat, ribeye, ground beef, eggs, butter, and hydrate well. Weeks 5 to 8, natural hunger kicks in. You're going to drop to 2 meals a day. Start experimenting with 14-10 or 16-8. Don't force OMAD. Still emphasize fatty meats and satiety. And then beyond 8 weeks, you can try 18-6 or OMAD a few days a week. You can use extended fasts, 24 to 48 hours therapeutically, not chronically though. For women, avoid fasting in the second half of your cycle. Should you fast on carnivore? That's the ultimate question, right? If you're sleeping well, you have great energy, and you feel stable, you may not need to fast. But if you're struggling with sugar cravings, dealing with insulin resistance, looking for fat loss, or a metabolic reset, then strategic intermittent fasting could be the tool that takes your results to the next level. Just don't forget, though, that prioritize food. Food first. Fat is your friend. For women, you need flexibility. Listen to your body. Adapt based on the signals. Carnivore and fasting are tools, not dogmas. I hope that was helpful. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all of you. Please like, subscribe, comment below. If you want to follow me on Instagram for more content, my username is Sam_HighMD. Once again, thank you so much. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next video.